I would love to know all of your opinions on how to create more equitable education opportunities for at-risk youth. And what do you wish you learned in high school that wasn't offered and wish you knew when you got into the real world? Two things. Number one, I wish high school provided a mentoring program. So whatever your dreams may have been, whatever you thought you might want to do with yourself, that there was someone who's already in that business field will come along and mentor you and give you real life experience so you know for sure if this is what you really, really want to do. And number two, I wish there was a coaching program, because when you're a teenager, you're going through things in life. You're so uncertain. You're still trying to find your identity. You're still trying to find your self-worth. You're still trying to find structure and stability in your life. If you had someone that you can go to for coaching, that would really give you the clarity and the confidence that you need. So many times teenagers got to figure it out on their own, and they're going to, and it's like the blind leading the blind, because they go on to other people who are confused and don't have it figured out. So they all end up in a mess. So that's my short answer. Those are two things that high schools do not provide. I wish they did. So now that Drew heard the answer.
All right, we're going to Drew next. Okay, let's go, Drew.
Yeah.
So, how's Drew Drew's 1-4. Drew, what are we doing, Drew? Come on. Drew may need to focus on this game here.
So I actually, it wasn't in high school, but so in college, I had asked a question
Drew, all due respect, this is about high school. They're dealing with high school kids.
Okay.
So it's got to be
high school. Okay.
We do it in high school. Yeah.
I don't know. I had finding a mentor within high school, at least for me, I gravitated. I think the reason why I went toward an engineering degree was primarily as a function of the conversation and the mentorship that I had gotten from my physics teacher. For whatever reason, I gravitated toward him. And, when you spend a fair amount of time with any teacher, you put yourself in a position where you just start to naturally gravitate toward that material. So I think quite honestly, an easy way for high schools to be able to create that environment is to let people explore through the people that they're learning from already. I don't know if that fully answers the question or whatever.
Yeah, that's good. Everybody got okay. Evan's next.
Yeah, so I guess it depends on what perspective we're trying to take things from. If it's you, if it's the individual, commit yourself to self-education.
Yeah.
The greatest thing you can do is not blame what you didn't learn in high school, but commit yourself to self-education.
Wait. Huh? The question is, what do you wish you learned in high school that wasn't?
No, that wasn't the first part. The first part was about
education
equitable
for at-risk youth.
Yeah, but what?
Go ahead.
What was it? What was it about for at-risk youth? What was it?
Yeah, they want. Okay, it was two parts. Okay, Your opinions on how to create more equitable education opportunities for at-risk youth,
right?
And then, what do you wish you learned in high school that wasn't offered,
right?
And wish you knew when you got into the real world?
So it's the perspective of am I the at-risk youth who's trying to figure stuff out, or am I the person who's trying to create a solution, right? If I'm the person, then I'm thinking self-education. The answer is self-education. Stop blaming the fact that you're at risk. Stop blaming the fact that your parents, didn't support you or don't love you, or you come from a community, whatever. Self-education is the answer, not the school. The school's not the problem. If you're the individual. If you're trying to make a solution, it's what I do. Hello. What do you think my YouTube channel does?
Yep.
I think we're having more real impact than the entire high school system. I mean, teachers are showing my videos in schools. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, is create opportunity for everybody. So whether you're going to go like, how do you solve it? I don't worry. I think like if you gave me two options of how to solve it, do I try to work inside the school system or do I create something brand new? I go create something brand new. Like I am able to have a much bigger impact, reach way more people by making YouTube videos than trying to change the school system.
Yep.
So the problem in either case isn't the school system, it's what's your approach going to be. So if you're the individual, it's self-education. If you're trying to actually create the change, then if you're obsessed about it right now, I'd be on TikTok. Go spread love and information and motivation and ideas and strategies and tactics, all of it on TikTok. That's where you should be. That's where you can have a real impact. Forget about trying to change the school system. I mean, it's so broken and so layered with bureaucracy. It's just, it's not going to be your best use of time. That's all.
Yeah.
So that's part one. Part two was, what did I wish that I learned in high school that I didn't?
Yeah.
And I mean, I love what Zane and Drew said. I was fortunate to have a mentor who really helped me, especially my last year of high school. And she was my French teacher. So like, French is, I mean, it's pretty much useless for me. When do I use French?
Well, you're in Canada, so there you go.
Yeah, but I mean, it's our second language, but nobody speaks French. Unless you go to Quebec, nobody speaks French. Like, it's not really, in some businesses, it can be really helpful, but for what I do, French, it's not a very helpful skill, but it's fine. Most of what you learn in school isn't helpful anyway. Right? What did you learn in school that was so helpful to you for your career right now? Like, the biggest thing is the socialization, the ability to learn, like teaching how to learn. But I don't think it does it. Like, how do they teach you to learn? They teach you to learn through memorizing, which is not learning. So I think that's not going to be super helpful. Oh, and I know he's you know, in the teaching world, so his perspective would be cool too.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
So I like the mentorship idea. I don't know how to scale it.
Yeah,
I don't know how to scale it. You know, like that becomes a problem. Like I think a lot of teachers are great humans. Like you don't get into teaching to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Some people get in just because of good benefits and security and all that. But for the most part, the people I've met who are teachers like actually care about their students. They're just blocked by bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And limited what they can do. So what do I wish I could teach?
I know he hopped in. He said, "I teach French and had the same existential question this week. You are funny, Evan."
Is that an existential question? I don't think it's an existential question. I think it's a really practical question. It's like, how do I have a greater impact? What do people need? You know, like here's a question for Zan, Drew, the audience. You know, if you had $1 billion to solve the problem of helping people believe in themselves more, what do you spend it on? Where do you put it? Like, what do you do? You got $1 billion, solve the world's biggest problem, lack of belief. Where do you spend it? Where do you put it towards?
So Mashio says, "Love it. I agree 100% with a mentoring and coaching program can really turn so many kids' lives around." And also, Mashio says, "Very true. I started using your videos with my kids a couple of weeks ago."
Yeah, like how do you scale? How
is
do you
that just a
effectively
statement,
scale?
or you asking a question, Evan?
What?
About the $1 billion?
No, I'm asking a question. Hey, I'm open. I'd love feedback.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
like, how do you scale mentoring? How do you scale? It's hard because you could teach mentoring.
No, it's not. Yeah, you said, what is it? Are you asking the mentoring question or the billionaire question?
Both. But go $1 billion question. You got $1 billion in. You have to spend $1 billion in the next year.
Okay.
To solve the world's biggest problem, the people don't believe in themselves. What do you do with the $1 billion?
Well, okay, and if it's around mentoring and coaching, what I would do is...
It doesn't have to be mentoring and coaching. It could be whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I think you set up in every city maybe you come up with a number like 1 million or more, 100,000 or more. You could set up organizations and institutions and associations that's geared around that, and then you could funnel people, you could train people, certify people to run those organizations, to be in those organizations. And if you bring the kids in, they all go through a teaching and a training program so that when they finish in 12 weeks or 6 months, that they're going to have these new ways of thinking, these new mindsets, these new skill sets that they can go out there. Then you can test. Then you also have placements out there for them so they can go and use their skill sets in real time to solidify that. And so you can set things up where people can, where the systems are in place that people can go and be partake of that. That way, it's not an individual thing because you got the communities already set up, you got the social system set up, and there's constant love and support and reinforcement and the whole 9 yards right there. It's almost like a safety net to prevent them from even failing because there's other people right there that's going to be bonded with them to make sure they go through the programs. They've got the mentorship, they got the coaching, they got the camaraderie, they got the community to hold them together. So that could be done. $1 billion, you can do that. You can do that on a global scale. And now kids from America can connect with kids in Canada. Kids in Canada connect with kids in Africa and Asia and all over the world, and they can have a more of a almost like a fraternity and a sorority connection because they've all been through that type of training and they're going to change the world.
So what are you doing? So what are you going to do in Vegas? You're going to set up a physical location?
I think it should be a hybrid of virtual and physical.